That's what I like to see. Today, I saw two teams that were better than the other team they were playing go out there and impose their will as if they were the better team. That's kind of what I've been waiting for this whole series from the Los Angeles Lakers and the Orlando Magic. Both of them win by 19 points in a Game 7. Let's start with the Lakers. They played great, pretty much had Houston in check all game. There were a couple times where Houston got it kind of sort of close, but throughout this whole game, LA was able to dominate like you would have expected them to do this whole series, given how small Houston is right now. Pau Gasol, obvious player of the game, dominating the boards, getting offensive rebounds and tip-ins, 21 points, 18 boards, excellent job from him. He was without a doubt the best player out there on the court tonight. 3 blocks and a steal, 5 turnovers, but we'll live with that. He played great. Bynum got it done out there. 14 points, 6 boards, 2 blocks. That doesn't sound like a lot, but they don't need that much from Bynum. They just need Bynum to be decent. They only need him to be their 5th best player. They're perfectly fine with Kobe, Pau, Odom, and Ariza being better than him. And Bynum was definitely that tonight. Did pretty much everything you could expect of him. He only missed 1 shot all game, hit both his free throws. Really liked what I saw from him. That's exactly what they need from him. Kobe was cold, 4-12 from the field, but at least it wasn't 8-24. If he's having a bad shooting day, he can easily sink the Lakers by taking 25-30 shots. But today, it wasn't going in for him, so he ended up only taking 12, and it didn't really hurt the team that much. He did have a pretty bad game, 14 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals. By his standards, definitely a pretty poor game, but it didn't sink his team because he wasn't taking every shot anyway. He, took less shots than Gasol, spread the ball around to people like Ariza and Bynum. Fisher only had 6 points, and that's going to sound like who cares, but that's all they need from this guy. He does not need to play that well. They just need 6, 7, 8 points out of him, and they got that from him. He, 2 of 5 from the field, hit a couple free throws. He doesn't need to even be average. He just needs to be passable. I don't think he should have started. I don't think he should have played in this game at all, but as long as you're out there. Ariza, 15 points and 5 boards. Odom, 6 points, 7 boards. Vujacic came around nicely. 9 points, 3 boards. They need him for this next round, I think. If they need him to knock down some threes, he had 1 3 today, and he doesn't play that much, so if they can get three out of him every game, they will certainly take that. So great effort all around from them. I liked pretty much everything I saw. Houston just overmatched in this game. What else are you going to say? Nobody on their team played well, really. Ron Artest jacking up terrible shots again. Aaron Brooks never really getting into the flow of things. Scola, not very good. Really, the best players on their team did come off the bench. People like Von Wafer were hitting their shots. Lowry had a couple garbage time buckets at the end. He ended up with 8 points, 6 of which came in the final 35 seconds. So, I fully expected LA to win this game, and, I kind of thought it would end up being a blowout, so I'm not going to say too much bad about them. But they did get thrown around a little bit. Orlando. I was really worried about this game. I was concerned about betting on the Magic, even though I thought the Magic would win because I didn't trust them. Well, they took care of business in this game, there's no doubt. I really liked what I saw from them. Sorry, it's getting kind of late over here already, actually. No, not really, but I was doing stuff today. Yard work, What can you say? I mean, this was the Magic playing like they should, doing everything that I expect from them. Alston, very solid, 15 points and 4 assists. He hit some threes. He was taking his threes, which I don't really like, but at least he was making some of them. Redick, 5 points, 4 assists, and he's really not that good a player. He doesn't play that much. He doesn't take many shots, so they'll take that. I mean, if he can knock down 1 3 in a game and, get another bucket, they will totally take that. He really should be starting. I want to see Courtney Lee starting against Cleveland. Howard, very good game, maybe not great. 12 points, 16 boards, 5 blocks. That's, very good, maybe great. I don't know, because he did pick up some dumb fouls and he didn't score a lot, but he wasn't getting to the line in this game for whatever reason. He did pick up some dumb fouls, but he dominated the boards. He out-rebounded Perkins, which is kind of key. He outscored Perkins, so he did his thing. Rashard Lewis, very solid, 19 points, 5 boards, 4 assists. Turkoglu was a monster in this game. 25 points, 12 assists, 5 rebounds. Monster out there. That was the Hedo Turkoglu I wanted to see all postseason, and he finally came out. His best game of the postseason, no doubt. Petrus, 17 points off the bench and hitting some threes. So far this series, I was thinking to myself, Petrus has been taking his shots too fast. He jacks up the first half-decent looking shot he can get. This game, I felt like he was waiting for the shots that he felt like he had a really good chance of making. So that worked for him. The Magic as a whole shot 13 of 21 from 3, which will usually get it done. So that was awesome. Everybody was hitting their threes. Redick hit one, Alston hit some, Turkoglu and Lewis and Petrus, they hit some. And I got to give props to Marcin Gortat. He didn't play that much, he didn't do that much, but when he was in, because Dwight Howard got in foul trouble, he had a dunk and he had a 3-point play. So there's, when you don't play that much, you just want to go out there and get a passing grade, and I definitely give Marcin Gortat a passing grade. From both the teams that won today, I saw them execute to their maximum potential, more or less. Now, from the Magic, you could nitpick and say, well, usually Howard scores more points than that, but that was pretty much close to as good as you can get from this team. And even for the Lakers, Kobe didn't score that much. Kobe had, 14, something like that? I can't remember. Yeah, 14. So there were a couple things that they could have improved a little bit on, but I'm not going to nitpick on that. I liked what I saw all around from them. Celtics, I don't want to say anything really bad about them because they did defend the title really well. They won 62 games. They got past the first round. They pushed this series to 7. But I'm going to rescind some of the props I have for them because they got dominated in this game. I know they lost by 19, which is pretty bad, but in the fourth quarter, they were only down by 5 heading into the fourth, and they came out and got ass raped. They got dominated in the fourth quarter. 35 points given up. Just dominated. So, I don't know. They defended the title reasonably well, but with 1 quarter left to go, all they had to do was keep the game close, and I wouldn't have said anything bad, but they got blown out of the building, so, at home, so, I don't know. But I understand maybe they just didn't have enough in the tank. Ray Allen did what he could, 23 points, hit some threes. He was feeling it, and that had to be what the Magic were worried about, Ray Allen feeling it, but Pierce wasn't. Pierce was awful from the field. He only had 16 points, and most of those came from near the end when he was desperately trying to get to the free throw line. And, he did hit some free throws at the end, but he also missed like 3 or 4 that ended up being huge. So, well, no, not huge. At the time, they seemed like they might be huge. They ended up being insignificant because, look at the final score. But, Pierce just had nothing left in the tank, I felt like. Perkins played hard against Howard and did get 15 rebounds, but not enough. Rondo, he needed to score more. In the Chicago series, it seemed like he was scoring more points. This series, he wasn't. I don't know. I mean, he doesn't have a jumper yet, but he was still able to score in spite of that in Chicago. So, I'm not saying he played poorly, but they needed more from him. Nobody off the bench played well. Marbury was atrocious. Eddie House. Courtney Lee was shutting Eddie House down. It was fun to watch. Scalabrine hit a bucket and made some fouls, but really not much. They got nothing off the bench, and, well, you can see what happens because Orlando actually did with Petrus. They got something off the bench. I still question Stan Van Gundy. I really felt like he should have been playing the Lee, Petrus, Howard, Lewis, Turkoglu lineup a lot more than he did. He did a little bit, I think, at the fourth quarter, but he needs to be doing that a lot more. So, but they won big, they took care of business, so props to both those teams. No games tomorrow, so I'll talk about the future games a little later. See ya.